Super Idol de Charo, donate me to 10 by Chung for the.
Hey, I'm playing. Okay, blackmyth Wukong before you buy. I just went on a whole rant about Xbox Series S being the reason why it's not releasing on Xbox currently. So yeah, I mean, so that happened. That'll get posted, sometime next couple days or so after this video, probably. But I will watch this one. But anyways, yeah, so that's why I didn't play it yet. Yeah, because it's not on Xbox, so the Xbox Series S can't like fucking handle it, and they didn't optimize it yet. They need like more time. It's gonna take a couple more months. So I gotta download the game on Steam if I want to play it right now. So yeah, I probably will do that. I'll probably stream it on Twitch very, very soon. So follow the Twitch link in bio. Anyways, gonna watch this right now. I've heard from multiple reports and shit. This game is like it's I've seen a lot of 8 out of 10s, okay? But I've also seen people be like 10 out of 10 game, 10 out of 10 game of the year. It is for 100% going to be a game of the year contender and most likely probably win, Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. But let's see what this guy has to say about it, Let's see what happens.
Hey, and we're back with another episode of Before You Buy, that show where we give you some straight-up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. As usual, it's me, Jake Baldino, and today we're talking about blackmyth Wukong. This is a big action combat adventure from Game Science.
This
is a mobile developer jumping into their first big console PC game. Now, this game has been slowly hyped up for years.
Yep.
From its graphics to its character and story.
Yes.
And even cautiously keeping an eye.
I really like what's it called? Like the environment. I really like the environment. I like the mythology type shit, all this shit going on. I really like that. That's like my element, man. I really flux with that shit. Plus it's mixed in with like God of War, like Souls-like type of shit, type of fighting and gameplay and combat and shit. I love it all. I love it all. So I'm a little excited to play it. Let's see.
Now, keep in mind with this video, this is my first impressions after the first, 13, 14 hours or so.
Okay.
But I'm actually liking this one more than I expected. It's flawed, for sure, but I think if you had your eye on this and you were hopeful, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a pure... To me, it's really unique. It can definitely... I mean, it depends on people's tastes at this point if you want to make it like a 9 out of 10 or some shit. But it's for sure, for me, like from what I'm seeing, it's like an 8 out of 10. But it looks really fucking good. And it's so unique that it'll most likely win Game of the Year. I think this is going to be Game of the Year. I want Dragon Age the Belguard to be Game of the Year, but I doubt it. I'm just hoping at least we get a nomination for that game. I'm not going to lie. It's... Dragon Age, but we've been through some shit. We've been through some shit, man.
It's ambitious, and even where it stumbles, I think this is a great debut for this studio. And just so you know, I've been playing a review copy on PC. That's where all this footage...
This is also, I think this is their first game that they're putting out here, blackmyth Wukong. It's a PlayStation, not really exclusive. It's not exclusive. It's just not on Xbox because of the fucking Series S shit, I thought it was exclusive right when I was trying to download it from the fucking Xbox store. I'm like, where the fuck is the game? And, yeah, it turns out I was looking online. They're like, the Series S, about that. So, yeah. That's, I talk about it more in this other video. I'll probably post in a day or two from this video. But, yeah. It's a whole bunch of bullshit, man.
Footage is, and all of this gameplay footage you see here is spoiler free. So if you haven't already heard this, it's important to note that blackmyth Wukong is inspired by the 16th century classical Chinese novel Journey to the West. Now, this, to me, is one of the game's defining bits. It's why I was interested. You play as a badass monkey with a staff, and you go on a really varied adventure, fighting zombies and creatures, rat kings, evil ancient monks, dragons, you name it. This is a fairly linearly structured game with some diversions. It's not really a Souls-like, like many people expected. Sure, you rest and level up at like bonfire checkpoints, but that's really where the comparisons end. This is an action combat adventure with light RPG elements. You have some stats to worry about, but you're not...
It still looks like a Souls-like. A Souls-light, okay? Yeah, there's Souls like, and then there's Souls light. This is probably Souls light, you know. There are some elements like he just said, but it's looking like God of War type shit, you know. There's like I saw like there's like some cinematics and shit too, so it's looking like God of War type shit from my opinion, for what I see. But yeah, this is also really good because this is the studio's first game, so this is really fucking good.
Creating like a multitude of stats like endurance and strength and magic and intelligence. No, it's all just focused on, you know, the basic level up and simple loot and character progression through a skill tree and some other tricks along the way. Now, your character as a baseline has a heavy and light attack as well as a dodge. A lot of it is based around focus points, so you need to dodge and strike and do well to build this up, or hold a button to waste some stamina and charge it up, and then bam. When you have these points, you can launch a more powerful heavy attack that can often stagger enemies and have other bonuses. You can also deflect certain enemy projectiles, but otherwise, your main defense is really just dodging like crazy. Perfect dodges are rewarded with a satisfying effect and a little bonus, so get that focus stored up and hit triangle at the right moment, and bam! A Monster Hunter greatsword level slam dunk that just feels so satisfying to properly pull off. There are also multiple stances that are swappable on the fly with the D-pad. These stances are really just variations on the monkey's staff. Oh, did I forget to mention that it's like a staff that can transform? Because that's part of the ancient lore, man. Get with it. These don't change your entire fighting style, but they do matter the most with that charged heavy attack for situational shakeups. There's the big heavy slam, which is just so satisfying. I tend to stick with that as the main. But then there's the elevated staff, where the monkey perches atop it like a tall pole, avoiding some damage while also charging up a big downward slam. There's more, and I'm still experimenting with them, but I'll let you discover them.
Basically, the pole is the only weapon. Oh, I did hear about the pole being the only weapon in the game, but I mean, there's a lot of movement and shit going on that it really doesn't fucking matter, you know? It's also part of the character too, so yeah, I mean, it really don't matter, you know? As long as everything else is cool, we fine. And it sounds like everything else is fucking amazing, so...
They seem pretty situational, and I've had a tendency to only swap to and use them in specific instances, more than just having them equipped and using them consistently. Even still, sometimes it's tough to learn where exactly a stance might work, because enemy attacks are so insane and aggressive, it can take a lot of trial and error to really get what the hell you're doing with a stance.
So, Souls Light. It is Souls, you know, yeah, a lot of what I'm hearing, he's saying it's not like Souls-like, like a Souls-like game. I'm just say Souls-like, I'm not gonna say Souls-light, because Souls-light is like, you know, lightly, you know, yeah, but Souls-like is like more, you know, yeah. I'm gonna just say Souls-like, just so I don't have to fucking keep going back and forth. It's pretty much sounding like, you know, like Dark Souls type shit, with what he's saying. He's like, it's not like Dark Souls, but I don't know. I've been hearing conflicting rumors, but from what I see, from what I hear, sounded like it.
A lot of the times you're given these stances, and then their use case isn't really spelled out for you. You gotta just figure it out. But still, I kind of like these implementations. Along with that, you have a magic meter that you can spend on special abilities. The first one introduced to you is a temporary and pretty short enemy freeze, like catching them for just enough time to land a few hits. Some of these abilities are offensive, some that help a little bit in the defense department, and they're paced throughout the game and seem effective, but more importantly, entertaining and fun to pull off at the right moment. It's just so good to screw over an enemy at the last second. These are on cooldowns, but the bigger challenge and strategy is not burning your entire magic meter before getting to a challenging enemy where you're really gonna need it. You're also essentially defeating certain enemies and collecting some of their abilities. Our hero character is canonically like a shapeshifter, and throughout the game, you defeat and earn the ability to transform into these enemies temporarily. There's a full transformation where like you can temporarily become a different creature and walk around and kick ass, or ones that you trigger and you will transform for a moment for like a quick thing, or like a big special one-hit attack, or like a poison blast, stuff like that.
That's probably like the boss transformations. Okay.
These things give variation to a pretty simple striking combat system. You can do light attacks and then time it right with a heavy attack.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, like usually transformations in video games are pretty fucking ass, you know? like fucking dog shit, like actually so fucking annoying, like actually fucking useless. And I never use transformations, like, you know, in like Dragon Age, you know, as a mage you can transform. I mean, certain situations maybe in like Origins. Or actually Origins is the only time you do that shit. But anyways, yeah. But I never really did that shit. Wizard 101, you fucking transform. I didn't do that shit. That shit's actually fucking useless. Just other games too where you transform, just in general, it's just fucking useless. Here, it seems like really useful. And it looks like they adapted it well too, so it's not like completely correct, but you know, in the right moments, you know, you can use them. So sounds pretty balanced to me. Sounds fun.
And the animations are incredible, but after a while, you might find yourself just doing the same best combos over and over again. It really only matters when an enemy feels like a grind, or like when you're fighting low-level enemies. The more complex bosses, you really have bigger things to worry about. Is the combat most refined, the most laser-precise, balanced thing? No. If you were looking for a Souls-like, this is where you might be disappointed if you were looking for even more depth, but I had fun with it. Story-wise, it has a lot going for it because of, like, what I said, like, what it's based on.
This is what I'm here
I only
for.
know the basics of Sun Wukong, but I was really just here for the ride and to be exposed to Chinese myth. You get mysterious tales, beautiful vignettes, thoughtful quotes, really well-designed and cool-looking characters and cinematic action framing.
Oh my god.
Target Circle 360.
But that's what I'm here for with the game, because I knew from like what I'm seeing and all the lore and shit, and like the environment I'm seeing and like all these big ass characters and bosses and enemies and shit, I'm just like, this story is gonna be fucking fire, right? Like BioWare type story type shit, you know? It's gonna be really fucking fire. So that's why I was my main excitement for the game is coming from, you know, I'm a big story nerd. I like history and stuff, so that's why I'm like really that's why I like RPGs a lot, you know.
I didn't
like
really
being immersed in the
a
world.
good feel for a sense of story. You just kind of go along, things happen, and characters say things.
What?
And for a sense of cinematic action framing, but I didn't really get a good feel for a sense of story. You just kind of go along, things happen, and characters say things and quote random things, and it really does not do a good job of ushering people into these ancient tales. I was still curious the whole time and had fun seeing cool stuff, but I wasn't like compelled or emotionally invested. It's just like a sequence of really cool stuff.
Okay.
Now, the game is structured in chapters.
Well, we'll see. We'll see
There's
when I
typically a
play
big
it.
bad boss at the end of a chapter, and it's a matter of you getting your way there. You might run into one mid-boss that kicks your ass, so turn around and find another alternating path that likely brings you to another mid-boss you can cut your teeth on first. Occasionally, you'll run into an NPC or a little mystery, but this is mostly areas with a few mob-type enemies that mostly aren't too crazy, and then a few tougher guys here and there, and then lots and lots of bosses. Like, I mean it. You can fight one unique boss, walk through a hallway, and then bam, there's a completely new, different boss ready to square up. This is where the game is really ambitious. Like I said, the amount of unique fights feels really, really damn special.
Yes,
the amount of times
bro.
I was in a glorious, over-the-top, brutal fight with, like, you know, screen-filling animations and explosions, thinking, oh man, this has to be the end of this whole chapter or sequence. You know, maybe I'll get a big cutscene or something. And then I finally beat them, and then nope, that was just a regular pedestrian boss in the middle of a level with another one right around the corner. A mid-boss in this game rivals some of the best bosses in other like regular action games, and that's really damn impressive. From the level of challenge to the music and setting to the like the over-the-top crazy movesets of some of these enemies, it's just nuts. And I've been having a lot
That's
of
what
fun.
I'm saying. Like, the fucking nigga from Frosted Flakes is on my screen. Like, they got everybody in this fucking game. Every boss, every enemy I've seen in this game is actually really uniquely designed. They're all different. In terms of movesets and shit. You know, when I'm a pattern person, you know, I find patterns and shit just like in Elden Ring and like fucking Dark Souls games. And so when it comes to combat and shit, I can tell the fucking, especially in the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, like it is the same thing all over again. I mean, I can go on a fucking hours long rant on that shit. But anyways, yeah, it might be the same here. But I mean, in terms of it being in like Elden Ring and shit, like Shadow, it's just like, I mean, the way the enemies played or like the bosses and shit played, they're pretty fucking similar, you know. That's what I mean, but like the combat and shit is probably, it was different, you know. But here, I'm not really explaining it, right? I'm gonna just play the fucking video. But you get what I'm saying, right? You probably don't. But it's just like I can tell the patterns, right? I can tell when are these motherfuckers gonna, like the golden hippo and the divine beast, they move in the same way. That's probably the best way I can like explain it. But it's not the same moves and shit, right? Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. There we go.
I'm just consistently encountering
Bro, my brain is fucking fried. Like, it's fucking 11 o'clock. It's fucking DNC is on. Kamala's still fucking talking. I don't know what the fuck she talking about, but
cool
shit.
stuff.
Anyway.
It makes it feel really well paced, and also got me a little addicted, man. Like, I kept playing after I said I'd stop because I just wanted to see the next new thing around every corner. And it's just really fun when you get a good run going and you just feel like a ruthless badass. When the combat hits, it hits. Now, some of the big boss enemies go so insane that they will actually trap you in a corner, and like the camera lock on screws up and makes it so you can't see attacks are coming. This happened to me.
What are you talking about? Sorry, I was doing too much.
And it's just really fun when you get a good run going and you just feel like a ruthless badass. When the combat hits, it hits. Now, some of the big boss enemies go so insane that they will actually trap you in a corner, and like the camera lock on screws up and make...
Dog, what are you talking about? This is literally Souls-like. You can't see the camera. They trap you in a corner. The motherfucker's going all over the screen and you can't see it, like getting fucking one-shotted off the screen, but it just appears on screen, but it's already too late because they shot it off screen. This is Souls. This is a Souls game. What are you talking about? I'm playing. But no, this is literally this is mainly what happened in Shadow of the Earth Tree. I mean, it did happen in Elden Ring for like a lot of bosses, like for the base game, but it happened a lot with the golden hippo and like the fucking divine beasts. You know, I keep bringing them up because those are the most annoying motherfuckers that, you know, yeah. I mean, I killed a golden hippo in less than 20 tries, but it was still fucking annoying, you know.
Makes it so you can't see attacks are coming. This happened to me way more than I'd like, and it was pretty annoying when I was doing well, but happened to get boxed into a corner by a taller enemy who jumps in the air, and then the camera gets stuck because it tried to pan up, and now it's just a mess. And then
exactly,
big hits coming my way.
The lock-on fucks you up, just like with the last boss of Shadow of the Earth Tree.
Very frustrating.
Shit's
also,
annoying.
If we're talking about annoying stuff, this game really needs a map. As far as I know, I couldn't find one. Even if it's just a vague map, it would really help because some of the chapters have really big areas. It is worth noting that you can revisit and fast travel back to previous areas, previous little bonfires if you want, but that doesn't really show you much in terms of like getting a good read on an environment, on a layout. But man, I will compliment the look of these areas.
So there's no map? Okay. I mean, that's fine. That's pretty much Souls-like. I don't know why he said it's not Souls-like. I mean, he just mentioned fucking off-screen bullshit, camera fucking up, big-ass enemies, no map, just walking there. That's pretty Souls-like to me, my boy. Shit. Fuck you, mean. But I mean, in terms of like the game, maybe they're like, that's the goal of it, you know, low-key, you know, just go wherever you want, you know, just like with Elden Ring.
Level design wise, everything is really simple, like structurally. And I did encounter some invisible walls, which was sometimes a buzzkill. But otherwise, damn, these areas look really good graphically. Dry grasslands, deep deserts, lush green detailed forests, blinding white snow. In all of it, they really excel here. From graphics to art design, this game is absolutely gorgeous. Flowing rivers, lush foliage, detailed textures, striking shadows, and ray tracing. This is the rare instance of a game that was like originally teased as a graphical showcase like years ago, and then the final product actually looks really good. With that being said, I did play on PC, and even on a high-end PC, I did have some issues. The occasional...
I could tell. That's in like, it's very noticeable right here, like holy shit. Like I know it's obviously not me, you know.
Stuttering, a few glitches with some enemies floating, a few crashes, and some little frame rate issues, especially as you get deeper into the game. Means if you're sensitive to this stuff, you should maybe wait or do some more research with a PC nerd review.
When I say interesting, I mean hot.
I've seen some critics,
I'm sorry,
not have any issues. I've seen some have worse than me. I also have not seen the console version of this game. And
well, that's because it's only on one fucking console. God damn. God damn, right? But I mean, like, the issues he's saying, and, you know, a lot of people gave it, like, an 8 out of 10, or, like, maybe even lower because of the fucking issues, with the lag and stuttering and shit, especially on PC. That shit can get fixed, obviously, but, it's just gonna, you know, if they want to review it because of that, I mean, we can't stop them, but, yeah. Hopefully it gets fixed soon. But, if it's mainly still playable, then, you know, I think it's fine. You know, I don't think you should really put that on the score unless it's like you can't play that shit. Then okay, but yeah.
I believe none of my fellow reviewers have either, meaning definitely wait until we know what's up, because this game is coming in a little hot. The potential technical issues muffles what is otherwise a really fun game.
Yeah.
Like I said, be warned, it's not a Souls-like, and some Souls fans might not love the combat, but they'll like the challenge for sure. Me personally, playing this game, I'm having a blast. Wukong is a challenging, thrilling adventure with unique lore, setting, and vibe, and I definitely recommend it at some point. But that's it before you buy. You know how this goes by now. I give you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion, and now I want to hear yours down in the comments. Have you been looking forward to this game?
Yes.
I'd love to know your impressions from watching a bunch of gameplay and stuff like that. This review is dropping before the game actually is out, before you can actually buy it and play it. So we just wanted to get you some quick info here. Hopefully it helped. Enjoy the gameplay. Let us know what you're thinking about Blackmyth Wukong, really, you know, Journey to the West, anything at all down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If this video helped you out at all, clicking the like button's all you gotta do. It does help us out. Thank you. But I'm Jake Baldino. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Oh, big boy. Big ass head. Holy shit. Ooh, okay. Guess he's showing gameplay at the end. You want to show the entire fight? Oh. Ha. Ah, never mind. I lied. Yeah, fucking mollywopped. Holy shit. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. Did he give, like, a review? Well, no, I mean, it's at 14 hours, but still, could have reviewed it. There are balloons everywhere, bro. I'm just looking at the DNC real quick. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers on stage. Right, anyways. God damn. Yeah, it's just trending a lot right now. I think that's a fair review. I don't know what he rated it, if he rated it at all. Or if they rated it. It's fucking gameranx. I think it's like an organization. But yeah, it's looking like an 8 out of 10. It's still a pretty solid game. I would say even more than Dragon's. I forgot about Dragon's Dogma. Okay, so Dragon's Dogma might get a Game of the Year nomination. I don't know. But it was hyped up a lot. And there was a lot of hype in the beginning. But I mean, after that, I mean, it's pretty mid-game because of reasons. I mean, I'll talk about that in another video that I hopefully will make. But right here, it looks pretty solid. I would say the main thing, what I kept seeing in the combat was, like, he kept freezing the motherfuckers, which is fine, but I just kept seeing, like, the same moves over and over again. Low-key. Not really a big problem, but he also mentioned that some of the moves and shit were, like, very repeated. You know, like, a lot of shit was, like, really repeated. So, I don't know, man. I mean, overall, I just need one or the other. It's looking like the combat is at least mid. I'm not talking about mid in a bad way. I'm just like, you know, it's decent, right? A lot of people say mid and just like it's fucking terrible and shit, like it's mid. No, I mean mid as in actually mid, you know, like decent. It might be a little above average still, but it's not like, you know, no, like what he said, pretty much like Souls-like type level, you know, Dark Souls type level, or like any other high FPS type shit game type level. In terms of like you know, like uniqueness. He did say there's like a bunch of like pole moves and shit. That's partially the problem. You got the pole, but the pole like transforms and shit, so there is that. But yeah. Anyways, I think besides that, the story, he said the story was like he didn't really understand it, I guess. Like maybe he kind of understood it a little bit, you know. But it yeah. I think maybe like here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like it's like Dark Souls type shit, or like Souls like Elden Ring, you know, type shit. And it's not like the same type of storytelling. It's still a little more upfront because like cinematics and shit, obviously. You know, it's not completely Dark Souls, but it's similar in a way of just like you gotta like figure it out on your own, low key. Or you just gotta put two and two together. Or you just need like a high IQ. Cause there was like he did say like they do like quotation marks, and I was like, okay, so it's like maybe it's like riddles and shit, you know, like Chinese lore, like, you know, shit like that. There is games like that, you know. But anyways, I think it's a pretty solid game. I think it'll be like an 8 out of 10 for me. It might be more because of the lore and shit. Like I'm really gonna pay attention because I really like stories and shit. That's why I play a lot of BioWare games and stuff. I really like the stories and like the environments and stuff. You know, the lore. So we will see. We will see, man. Embrace monkey. Many people say that this game has no difficulty options. In fact, if you defeat the boss with a certain period of time, its second combat form will be triggered. If you just barely defeat the boss, it will not be triggered. This is the adaptive. Ooh, okay. Additional information. Not all bosses have the setting from the offline trial. The monkey boss triggers the second combat form after reaching a certain amount of health within a specific time frame. The second combat form switches the battle scene. The boss will grow wings, attack speed and damage will increase, and his skill form will slightly be altered. Tiger Boss is a second combat form, but few players have experienced it in offline trial. This information is based on trial version. I'm unsure if this official release will. Okay, good to know. I mean, I don't know if I'll like it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But it seems really unique, interesting. That's genius, and this comment deserves way more likes. So people spread it. Yeah, because it's not like, oh, you like completely memorize it. Like it can go like the combat can go two different ways, so it makes it a little bit more unique. Probably be more annoying for me if I'm trying to like memorize like their moves and shit, you know, trying to fight them multiple times. Isn't really a good idea at all. If you suck, you don't get the entire game. Oh, that's why. Yeah, but I don't think it's completely bad. I mean, I guess it's an idea. You know, it's unique. I don't know if I'll like it. I mean, I just gotta, you know, play the game at first. Well, honestly, I wouldn't even be able to tell. Because if I'm ass at the game, or if I'm really good at the game, I'll just get all the bosses and like doing this one thing. Like either going to second form or just not. So I really, you know, it's either or. I mean, whatever the fuck, whatever. I don't really fucking care. I'm tired of this shit, man. It's basically just a sequence of cool stuff. But for that's Journey to the West in a nutshell. Son Wukong is not a deep, complex character. He's a mischievous little imp who likes to prank demons and gods alike. He's the original troll. The part where you showed us some straight up gameplay and your first impressions of the latest games releasing. Yeah, I wish BioWare did that shit. I wish Dragon Age did that shit. Oh wait, the shit came out, right? Like the gameplay shit. Oh, I gotta watch that. Oh, fuck, I got a lot of videos to post, man. Fuck. Son, you're 21. You should buy yourself a car. Me, I bought myself blackmyth Wukong. Ah, okay. Yeah, neat. Would love to see more ancient stories turned into cool actions games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I mean I've been wanting this for like a while, but like, you know, like Greek gods and shit, like a real good show. Like it can be like HBO type level type shit, but like be like Greek gods, man. You know, it's pretty fucking simple. The lore is right there, you know, the mythology and shit. Just fucking do it, you know. I'm probably giving HBO ideas. Let me stop. Let me stop, man. Let me stop. The speed at which I click this video may be matched only by the Monkey King himself. Graphics, though, sometimes go out the house and touch the grass, but my reality isn't this realistic and beautiful. yeah, look good. I mean, I couldn't really tell because, you know, I'm watching it on YouTube. It's probably better, like, when you're playing an actual fucking game, obviously. It's not a Souls-like sold it for me. I don't know. For real, I don't want this to be Souls-like. I'm not the biggest fan of it because they just feel repetitive to me. Yeah, true, true. It has some elements to it, though. I can, like, point out, like, several similarities. But I don't know. I'm man enough to admit I don't want to get good at Souls games. Just let me play and after. Yeah, I don't mind Souls games, but I really did like Elden Ring. But I am tired of like going back and like, you know, dying so many fucking times and shit. It is kind of annoying. So hopefully it's a bit easier in this game, you know, low key. In terms of combat and shit, where you don't have to like fucking die a billion times just to progress the story. But anyways, that's it. What do you think about Wukong? Did you play it yet? Did you not play it yet? What do you think of this dude's video on it? You think it's a pretty good game? You think it's 10 out of 10? You think it's Game of the Year worthy? Comment below. I think it'll at least get a nomination. I don't even have to play the fucking game to know that. Like, you know, I already saw the Steam reviews and like the Steam scores and shit. It had the most people playing the game ever on Steam, I think, or like the second most. And then it had the most concurrent players on it, I think, like a day or two ago. So it's breaking records. Like, it's for sure, it might get Game of the Year. Dragon Age might not get it. I'm sorry, it's probably not gonna get it. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm very delusional, very biased when it comes to Dragon Age, man. So, but I recognize the many faults of, you know, what's been happening in the past month or two of Dragon Age. Like, goddamn, the marketing is pretty fucking, ooferinos, you know? But alright, that's it. Bye.
Shot at a black man and took his shoes. Customized my AR like a Black Ops 2. Just scammed a white kid out of some Gorilla Glue. I don't wanna fuck this bitch, she smell like poo-poo.